What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your boy Dano here, giving you the best content on the internet. If you stick around for 10 minutes, I promise you're going to stay for the entire hour because we're going to be talking about tips, strategies, suggestions, and everything it is that we do in order to achieve success, and not in just one area of our life, but every single area in our life. Because, yes, success is not just only tangible things, but it's the things that we can't hold in our hands, with our relationships or our jobs or, everything else that we got going on with that. So don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations because it's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Thank you so much for being here. And like I said, it's time to get started. Let's go.
Basically, it's about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Everybody, let's go. Welcome, like I said earlier, to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV, giving you guys the hottest content because, all this stuff that we talk about here, number one, we give you the gold mine, like the gold bars that you need in order to cash that into vibrational currency, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that we are making, living our dream lives and the lives that we've always come on this earth to accomplish, right? And that's why I really love everything that we talk about here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV, just because it's real life practical stuff, man. It's just, you could take this information and apply it 5 minutes from now, an hour from now, tomorrow, 3 weeks from now, 10 years. It's all going to be of value to you guys. And that's what I like to do with everybody, give you guys the practical tips and stuff that I've actually learned myself. Because like I said, it wasn't always like this. there was a time in my life where I was asleep and I was just going through the motions of life. But since we started to learn more, started to tweak some different strategies and everything that we have going on with our lives, life has just been absolutely amazing and beautiful. And I'm just so happy and grateful and honored that I can be able to have this show with my positivity posse. Thank you, Lou, for dropping that so early. You already know what's going on, man. It's high energy, high vibrations, how we always do on every single show. So thank you for dropping that. Ready for the show? Let's go. I'm ready for season 4. And like I said, if you guys are watching for the first time, if you haven't been on in a while, season 4 is coming out. I think it's in 2 weeks. Yeah, because the first Thursday of July is 2 weeks from now. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're going to have some brand new content for you guys. We're going to have a new studio, a new background. Everything's going to be fresh and fly for you guys. Don't already know, this is just my interim background for when I do put up everything, because there's going to be a lot of work that I need to do, construction to fix the background and everything. Because we're going to have, if you didn't already know, we've had the background in the green screen for about ever since we first started the show, which has been about 3 seasons, which is, I guess, close to 3 years. I think it's been about 2.5 years now, but we're going to have a whole new background. It's going to be beautiful. I already picked out everything. I just got to install it. But, that's not really my strong suit when it comes to, I guess buildings things, or, I mean, not building things, but just like all the construction side of everything. So I'm working on it. And yeah, this is just the interim background for now. And if you guys want a certain color, you just let me know. I can change that for you as well. Like I said, we're going to be doing the affirmations for happiness for today. You already know, every time we open up to this book, man, this just gives you guys even more value and more golden nuggets that you can take in your everyday life as well. All right, here it is. And we're going to go with number 126. All right, and if it's just so perfect, man. Every single time I open this book, man, it's just always right where it needs to be, and it's always on point. So here it is. Today is my opportunity to build a brighter tomorrow. I'm going to set myself up for success and pave the way for a better future. This is my chance to set the tone for the rest of my life. I'm choosing empowering thoughts and setting my hopes high. No matter what today was like, tomorrow is going to be even better. And man, like I said, today is my opportunity to build a brighter tomorrow. I really love that, just because every single moment that we live in and that we're living through is a brand new moment. You don't have to base our moments right now on past experiences, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, I didn't get $100,000 today because it didn't happen yesterday, and it maybe has not happened in my life yet. So today's not going to be the day, or it's going to take a lot of time to build to that. Just get that out of your head, because you're not supposed to. I mean, you're not supposed to live about now, like living through now based on past experiences, because every moment is new. And today could be the day where you get that thing that you've been asking for maybe a week now, or a few months, or a year. No matter how long you've been asking for it, today could be that day. So that's why we should go, through an optimistic sense, but at a high vibration, and with a positive mindset as well, because that person that might take you to that thing that you've been asking for will show up today, and they can show up today. Or that money you've been asking for, that new diet regimen that you needed, that you want to find because the rest of them haven't worked for you, or whatever it is that you've been asking for, today is that day to build. And I find education to be the best way to build a brighter tomorrow, right? Because as you guys already know, I love reading books, and I just started it yesterday, reading a new book. You guys probably know, it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is like one of the best financial books out there. And I'm already halfway through in the book. I listened to the audio book, which is about 6 hours long. But man, the stuff that you're learning in there, and just from books or whatever you're reading, you can use that to your advantage to live the life of luxury that you want, to live a life of, volunteerism, to live the life of, financial abundance, or strength, or whatever it is that you're asking for. Books have been the best way to do it. And the best way to start is right now. They talk about investing and buying assets and everything in the Rich Dad Poor Dad, but the best way to start is right now, and stop waiting for that perfect time, because there's not going to be a perfect time, because your brain will always come up with different types of excuses to say, oh, well, I'm not ready for it. I don't know enough, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough this or that. And I think that's just kind of fear being programmed into us, and you're letting that take over what's going on. Whatever decision that you're making is just delaying it, just because we might be scared of what we need to do. And yes, I'm in that boat. And listen to me what I'm saying. I'm saying we, because I'm not saying that I don't do it. I'm working through it as well, as we all are. But yeah, I know with me, social media posting has been the thing that I've been delaying for the longest amount of time. And that is going to be changing very, very soon, because I want to have at least one video ready for this Monday. So if you don't follow me already, follow my social media sites, Dose of Dano on Instagram, and on TikTok is Dose of Dano as well, and Weekly Dose of Dano TV if you're watching on Facebook as well. And we have a question right here. What are some tips for working through that for fear? Well, I can tell you one tip. If you just have a lot of fear about something, the best thing that you can do is dive into it head on and straight on, and just go into it. Because think about it. Fear, right? The reason that you're fearing something is because, number one, you don't want to fail, which is, nobody wants to fail at anything that they're doing. But, number one, that could be the best teacher for you. But if you're fearing something, that means that your reward for you doing that thing is so big and so impactful that that's what you need to focus on. What if everything were to go right? And I know when it comes to fear, man, it just immobilizes us. But like I said, you just need to jump right into it. Figure it out along the way. Like, I know with Weekly Dose of Dano, the product that you're seeing and the show that you're seeing right now wasn't like this in the beginning. You're going to have to learn through it. And as you go, you're going to mess up 100%, of course, but you'll know how to work through those things that you're tripping up on, and how to fix it, and, make it even better going forward. Because you're not going to be the best at it from the very beginning. But as you go along, you'll learn how to get better. You'll learn how to deal with different, traps or different things that'll trip you up. And you'll just be that much better, and you'll be a master at your craft, because you'll laugh at it. And then you'll say, man, what was I even so afraid of in the beginning? I mean, think about, I don't know what job you're doing right now, or I don't know whatever it is that you've gone through, but think about something in your life right now that you didn't become a master of. Whatever it is that right now, in the very beginning, you had to work through it, right? I know for me, I used to be a server at a restaurant. And on my first day, I would be so scared that I was going to fail, and, I was going to drop something, like maybe a soda or some food on somebody. But as you go along, you will become better and better at your craft. And when you do start to realize, hey, I'm starting to get into a groove now, I'm starting to find some positive momentum, that's when it'll start to get fun. I mean, in the very beginning, yeah, it's probably going to suck, just failing and not being where you want to be. But if you just fight through that and know that the reward that you're going to receive, and that's why you're so fearful, right? Like, a lot of people, let's take businesses, for example. A lot of people are scared to start their own business because they're scared of obviously failing. But the reward will be so big that might be frightening for them as well. Let's say they do start this business and they receive millions and millions of dollars and a lot of success. They'll be fearful that, damn, I won't be able to keep my friends, or, a lot of people will start to only want me for money, or they'll just want me for the things that I have and not for me. Yes, you will receive all of those successes and that financial abundance. But think about it. You're just leaving room, and you're attracting, even better friends to be there for you as well. And, you'll have a lot more financial stability to have that freedom to do whatever it is that you want, right? Because you can go, if you start that business and you do end up succeeding the way that you will be, then you'll think about that great life that you're going to live, right? So, like I said, that my number one tip, if you're fearing something and you've been just delaying it for so long, just dive into it head on, and stop thinking about what can go wrong. Start thinking about what can go right, and you'll see all of these great changes that will happen in your life. And that's the best one that I can do. The second tip that I can give you is to learn whatever it is that you want to jump into, because knowledge is the best thing that we can use to equip ourselves to just get it done. Because when you learn more about different things of whatever craft it is that you want to start, the more information you have, the better, because you'll know how to navigate through it. But if you fail, you'll have the teaching aspect of everything as well. So that's just as good as learning. But and then, like I said, the last tip that I can give for you right now is just start right now. Stop delaying. Do some research, even if it's 5 minutes of research of whatever it is that you want to jump into. Just do it. Stop being scared. Stop being just timid. Just do it, because it will work out the way that you think it will, and you'll have help along the way with the support system. I mean, with you guys, think about me. I know in the very beginning, I was like, damn, who's even going to sit here to watch Weekly Dose of Dano TV? And now I cultivated you guys, the best, positivity posse in the world. So the cooperative components is a term that Abraham Hicks uses, but that's just basically saying the pieces that need to be there in your life will be there for you. So don't ever think that you're going to be alone. You will fail, yes, but that doesn't have to defeat you, and that doesn't have to discourage you. You can always work through it, learn the lessons, and then you'll just be that much even better at whatever it is that you're going through. So those would be my kind of top tips for you. And, we're going to be talking about that, because I feel like, success is kind of a definition that not many people know about, and not really, they don't sit down to really reflect on what success is and what it means to you. Success can be two totally different terms, right? I know a lot of people want to live that American dream where they have the, big house with the white picket fence and 2 children. But for somebody else, they want to be a multimillionaire with no kids, and they want to be single for the rest of their life, because that's just what success is to them. But when it comes to success, I feel like we don't take the time to sit down and reflect what it really is. So that's why, we're going to be talking about that, because I know I didn't really, before, this past week, I didn't know what success was. Like, yeah, I had an idea of what it was, but it was only in one area of my life, and that was only the financial area. But, you have so many different areas where we're going to be talking about through the rest of the episode. And this is going to be, I need you guys to help me and let me know what your definitions of success are in every area of your life. And those areas can be, relationship success, financial success, emotional success, and impact success, and which is like, your community and how much of an impact that you have on your community or society or whatever it is. It could even be social media, that kind of impact. But like I said, that's what we're going to be talking about for today. And before we jump into that, I want to go back to this one more time. I don't even know. Oh, that's my keyboard acting up like that. But here it is. I want to talk about one thing that we talked about earlier with the affirmation. And there was one sentence that I kind of want to change. It says, I'm choosing empowering thoughts and setting my hopes high. And I don't really like the word hope. I just feel like it's an empty vessel. You can just keep hoping, but nothing will ever really happen, right? I just feel like hope is synonymous with wishful thinking. And when you have wishful thinking, that doesn't really produce the results that you want, right? So, like I said, I want to change setting my hopes high to setting my goals high, or setting my intentions high. And that's just a little tweak that I wanted to make with you guys, because don't hope. Perfect way of saying it right here, better than how I could have said it. Don't hope, ... expect. Yes, expectation is you already feeling the feeling of whatever it is that you have, or feeling the feeling of whatever it is that you want. You already have it. And now whatever it is that you're going to go do, you're just expecting it to happen, right? Whether it's like you go to buy a scratch off, or even before you go to buy, a silly example, a scratch off ticket, right? If you go in expecting that you're going to win, $5 or $10 or, 100,000, you have to feel that feeling of receiving that money before you even get it, because that's what's going to activate that vibration. And that's what's going to get you that success and get you that money that you've been asking for. You got to know that you already have that money. It's already inside of you. And that's just the vessel that you want it to come about. And it may not be necessarily like accurate all the time where it happens the way that you want it to happen. But if you're asking for that 100,000, it can come through a scratch off, or it can come through a business venture, or you can find it on the ground in a bag. Who knows? There's so many different ways that it can come to you. It can be a donation or a gift from a friend, or however it comes, it will come to you. But like Jeanette said right here, don't hope. You have to expect that it's going to happen to you, right? And when it comes to expectation, really quick, I want to touch on one more thing. When you order a package on Amazon, right, you expect that the thing that you paid for will show up to you at your door. And that's kind of the same thing with, the law of attraction and the things that you've been asking for. You have to expect that it's going to happen in that same fashion. You ask for it, a little bit of time goes by. It can be instantaneously, or it can be a week or however long. but you have to expect that it will come, in that it will come no matter what the vessel is going to happen, right? So you order a package and you expect it to arrive at your front door. It's the same thing with your mind. Whatever goal or whatever it is that you want, expect that it will come to you. Already feel the feelings of if you already had the thing right now, and then it will come to you. And I've experienced that time and time again. It's not hogwash and it's not wishful thinking. I've manifested different things in my life. So I know that if it worked one time for something big or something small, it can work two times. If it worked two times, it can work eight times, 1,000 times, and you can just rinse and repeat until you have everything it is that you want. And you're never gonna have everything it is that you want, because there's so many things to want and to do on this earth that it's impossible literally to accomplish it all in one lifetime. Imagine just trying to live, imagine just trying to explore every single country in the world, right? You're not going to be able to do that in one lifetime. I mean, if that's the thing that you're setting the goal to do that, yes, you'll be able to touch down and maybe visit every single country, but like you're not going to experience the culture because you don't have enough time to figure it out. I mean, however many countries there are in the world, I'm pretty sure there's over 100. If you were to spend 1 year in each country to experience the culture, you're not going to be able to do that because you'll be gone by the time everything transpires that way. It will work with anything small or big, 100%. It can work for a button. It can work for a big financial sum. It can work for a boat. It can work for your significant other that you're trying to attract into your life. It can work for literally anything it is that you're asking for, but you just have to know the strategy to go about it. And yes, I like this one. This is more like it with the exclamation points versus the question mark as well. So let's dive into it. The meat and the potatoes of the show for today. What is success? So I need you guys to comment. What is success for you guys? Because this is something that I still haven't really sat down and figured out what success is for me. And this is kind of a loaded question because, like I said, there's so many different areas and different ways to think about it. But if I had to sum it up into one sentence, I think success is always doing your best, right? Because success doesn't always necessarily mean achieving your goals. And I know that I used to think that where if you're successful, that's because you achieved everything that you wanted to achieve in your life. But that's not always the case, because failure will happen. And does that mean that you aren't successful because you tried your best, but it didn't work out the way that you think or that you thought it was going to happen? No, of course. I mean, like, duh. If you were, like I said, that's just my definition of success. Is always trying your best, because it's not always going to work out the way that you want, and it's not always going to work out the way that you think it's going to happen. But if you're always trying your best and whatever it is that you're doing, if you're starting a business or going to the gym or finding that significant other or having successful relationships, those are the things that you need to worry about and not worry about. Those are the things that you need to be conscious of, because when you're always trying your best, you're giving it your all. And if you're giving it your all, there's literally nothing else that you can do to make sure that you are acquiring the outcome that you want to achieve. So as long as that, you just can't fail if you're always giving your best. Nobody can take that away from you, right? There's always times I feel like we can always have a sense of regret, whether it's like, going on the basketball court, and I can equate it the best to sports. That's why when it comes to, if you ever played a sport in high school and it's your senior year, you always want to leave it all out on the field, because you never know if you're going to play at the college level or if that might be your last game. And that's why when you always do your best and you're always give it everything that you got, nobody can take that away from you. And that's just the ultimate form of success for me. And here it is. Jeanette says, success is making progress no matter how big or how small. I really like that one a lot too, because if you're always moving forward in that positive direction, then that's success for you. And if that works for you, I'm really glad that you've actually sat down to think about what success is, because that's another great example too. If you're always you got to think about it like a graph, right? If you're always just going up, up, and up, and even if you go to the right a little bit and you have a couple spikes that go down, that just means that you're going further along in your journey than, if you wouldn't have done anything at all. And when it comes to that too, when it comes to that too, just always doing your best and always just making sure that you're like inching closer or closer to your goal. The pain of not doing anything at all and the pain of just staying where you are is always going to be that much greater and always much more greater than if you were to just go to do whatever it is that you're going into, leaning into it, and then the pain of it not working out. Because if you talk to a lot of older people, they always say that their biggest regrets in their life is not trying or not doing everything that they wanted to do to the best of their ability. And I feel like with that guilt that you might have of not trying at all, that's the worst thing that you could possibly feel in this world. Because you just know that whatever calling that you did have in your entire lifetime, you didn't really take the time to see where it could have taken you and to live the life that could have been the thing that completely turned your life around, and you were able to receive everything that you've been asking for. So like I said, the pain of just staying still and staying wherever you are and not doing the thing that you want to do and to follow your dreams, that price is a lot harder and a lot heavier than if you were to just try it and to just whatever it is that you want to try, whether it's art, whether it's going to the moon or being an astronaut or whatever it is. That pain, if you don't do it, is going to be a lot stronger than the pain that you're going to feel as you're going through whatever dreams it is that you want to achieve. Lou says here, success is setting a goal and meeting that goal no matter what it takes. And I really like this one a lot too, because you just by you saying no matter what it takes, you're doing everything in your power to make sure that that goal is going to be manifested. And I really like that one too, because it's not going to, no matter what happens in your life, you're always going to be resilient. You're always going to work through whatever obstacle is in your way. You're just going to jump over it, or you're going to go around it or underneath it. And just the fact that you're doing whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you're achieving success, I think that's really badass, and that's really a great way to think about it as well. Because if you know that you're not going to fail, and that no matter what happens to you, and that you just have that mindset of success, and that you're going to achieve it no matter what, then it's just going to happen that way, right? Because that's your intention. No matter what, I'm going to achieve this outcome. So it's just, you just know that whatever it is that you're going to do and that you're going to chase after is going to be successful. And I really like that one as well. Making my bed daily is successful, 100%. If you find that, and I want to talk about this one too, because there's success is not big or it's not small. Don't, like, even waking up today, right? That's a really, really big one. But after you relish in that success of waking up today, making your bed as well is a success. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Don't diminish or don't discredit something that you've been doing for a while. Like, even if it's going to work, right? Let's say you're not really at that phase in your life where you're chasing after your dreams, whatever your dream is. Let's say you're at a job that you don't really like, and you don't really like the people there, or things aren't just, it's not as fulfilling as you would like it to be, right? Well, always be, even if you're at that point, there's still things to be successful and things to be proud about, right? Because you're, all right, let's say if you're at a job and you're working a 9 to 5 and you're taking those 8 hours a day to just fight through whatever it is that you got to do for yourself for survival, or for your family for survival. That's another form of success, because you're not just sitting down and just crying and just not being productive. You are being productive. You're making money. You might be helping people out at that job. It might be an accounting job, whatever it is, you're always serving a purpose. And when you find that purpose, no matter what job it is that you're going through, there's always ways to be successful, and there's always ways to just relish in that, whatever it is that you're doing. If you clocked in and you survived the day, that's another form of success. If you were able to pay a bill for today, that was a success. If your lights turned on today, that was a success. If you were able to take a shower today, that was a success. If you were able to form a competent, coherent sentence for today, if you have your health for today, there's a billion different reasons to find success and to relish in that success as well. So, like I said, I really like that you said making your bed daily is successful, because it doesn't really have to be the biggest things in the world. You don't have to make $1 million or to have that, PR, that personal best of whatever sets that you're going through in the gym, or it doesn't always have to be the extremes. It's even just the small things in your life that can define success as well. So thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Dano's the best show on E360. Like I said, it's the best show on the internet just because I always love talking about this stuff with you guys. 'Cause you always teach me something new every time, and I'm just very grateful and honored to be able to maybe teach you something new or just to spend this time with you right here because I can feel your energy through the computer, through the phone, whatever it is that you're watching from. We're just all coming together to really take the time to make sure that we're achieving our ultimate success and to just living the lives that we want to dream, our dream lives. We're accomplishing in it, and we're working toward those dream lives as well. So, like I said, that's why I really love sharing this information with you guys. Um, like I said, it goes beyond achieving a goal because even if you don't achieve that goal, if you're trying your best, that's you're giving it everything that you have, and that's all you can really ask for. I mean, think about sports players, right? Tom Brady doesn't win the Super Bowl every single year, but as long as he gave it his all, that's all you can really account for. Because even then, that's like a team sport, and you really go deep about what's going on with that. But like I said, it goes deeper than achieving whatever goal it is that you came to really achieve. So what I'm going to do right now, since we're already halfway through the episode, is just zipping by. I'm just going to play a quick word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you got to do. And like I said, keep typing your comments and suggestions and tips and tricks about what success is for you and how we can achieve it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Let's get it, everybody. So, everybody, that was just a quick word from our sponsors. Thank you so much to our sponsors for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV because it wouldn't be possible without you guys as well. And you guys are just throwing your great positive energy into it. So, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And Mr. CEO Owner, nice to hear from you, my guy. Haven't talked to you in a minute. I hope everything's going well with you and wishing you much love and success for you as well. It says making your bed is the key to success. It is your first accomplishment in the day. I agree with you 100%. And it just the trajectory of your day is just going to go in a positive direction because you're like, okay, well, I made my bed today and now I can go to brush my teeth. Now my body feels clean. And you go to have your first cup of coffee, and that first cup of coffee can taste so good because you just made it so right, and you just threw a lot of love in there. And you go into your car and you're listening to your favorite music to go to whatever job it is that you're going to. And you just know that once you had that great vibrations and great start to your day, nothing can really take you out of it, right? Not even any coworkers or whatever it is that may go about in your day. It can just not throw you off. It's just so important. So, like I said, it doesn't matter how big or how small success is to you. Just as long as you're trying your best and making your bed in the first few minutes of the day when you wake up and get out of it, that's giving your best as well. Because I know there have been times where I'm like, I don't really feel like making my bed. And, I'll go about during my day and I'll experience whatever it is that I'm going throughout my day. And when I come back, I look at the bed, I just get like a bad feeling. I'm like, damn, I should have done that earlier. Cause there's nothing like when you going about your day, and maybe it's like one of the hardest days you've ever done. But when you come back and you see that your bed is organized and neat, you just have that sense of, everything's going to be all right. And when you hit your head on that pillow, it's going to be amazing. So here it is. This is what Mr. CEO says. As I was listening to a very famous Navy SEAL captain, he became high ranking. He said that the biggest thing you can do to start your day is making your bed. Now, setting life goals and dreams is a beautiful thing, but if you cannot make your bed, you should know organization in your life. Um, make your bed, just like the cancel woman said, make your bed. All right. Well, there it is. There you go. Let me know more about this. I'm very interested, and you already know whatever I got to do to help you out, my guy. I can do that to help you out. So now, what is success, man? Success. Everybody has their own definition, and you guys have been just dropping these gold freaking bars, man. I love it. I love it. So yeah, just please keep it up. Let me know what success means to you. It can be in a relationship sense, it can be in the financial sense, it can be the impact on your community, because that's a different form of success as well, that maybe is not as tangible as receiving the dollar bills or the cars or the houses, but it can be even more impactful and have even more meaning and value in your life. So like I said, let's talk about some things to be successful about. Waking up early today, or not even early, but hey, if that's your goal, that you want to, wake up early and you actually achieve it, that's a success. Facing your fears is a big way to achieve success as well. It says continuing to fight external and internal battles and forces. If you're actually putting up a fight and you're not letting these things bring you down and get you depressed or sad, those are different examples of success as well. Catching your thoughts. So if you're aware of your thoughts and you're like, man, why am I thinking this way? I really shouldn't be thinking about way. And you actually flip it on its head and start thinking in the positive direction. That's another form of success as well. Like I said, there's a billion different things that I can talk about why success is so important. But I also believe that you can fail and still have success, even if you go to start that business and it fails. And they say that I don't even know the exact statistic, but when it comes to creating a restaurant, and I think like the first 3 or 4 years, I think over 80% of restaurants fail. But even then, that's not really a failure. You can have success in different ways. Like you can take those lessons that you've learned during that failure, or maybe that setback, I should rather say, rather than failure. But when you take those lessons, you can apply in many different areas of your life. And that experience of that restaurant failing, to say, let's just use that experience, can help you just get even further along in different other areas in your life. And it needed that failure or that setback to happen for you to just go even forward, right? Because you can think about like a rubber band, right? If you were to just pull, you have it in between your fingers and you pull it back and you pull it back and you let it go, what happens? You're taking all that, expertise or all that force, and if you flip it or you fling it in the right direction, it's just going to, make you skyrocket and get to new levels and new heights that you probably didn't even think about before as well. Um, so there's Lou. I saw a big CEO from Japan speak about cleaning their toilet daily. Same concept. I think it was the CEO for Toshiba. Wow, and that can be, yes, that's definitely very successful. But there's a big degree of humility in that, because I know that I don't even know if my face was giving it away, but you think about cleaning the toilet and you're like, damn, who the heck wants to do that every single day? But you got to have that humbleness and that humility as well. And I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people that are very successful taught me that. A lot of close people, where they say, yeah, well, I started a business. I had to have the humbleness and the humility when that business failed to go get a job. But when I got that job, I used that money to reinvest back into myself and maybe a different business idea. And that second idea that they had was very, very super successful. So like I said, this is success, and that has a huge amount of humbleness and humility to it as well. So thank you for sharing that, because that's I would have never thought to do that every single day. And yes, everybody does it every week, hopefully, but every single day, man, that's just that's very powerful. So thank you for sharing that. Success is loving the skin that you're in. Yes, 1000%. That's a huge step in the right direction. And it may not be easy in the very beginning, because we always are comparing ourselves to other people, and we always want to have our perfect skin and our perfect, figure or whatever it is. But as long as you're comfortable with yourself, nobody else can take that away from you. When you have that self-confidence, you can just apply that to each and every other area of your life. And that can go, like I said, whatever goal it is that you want, it all starts from within. And when you love yourself and you are comfortable in your own skin, you become unstoppable. And I've known, because that was something that I struggled with before. And that when you start to work on it, and really appreciate everything that you got going within yourself, man, you become unstoppable. And this is a really big one. Thank you for sharing that as well, because I know there are people who just aren't comfortable in their skin. But man, try listening to some positive affirmations if you are in that boat. Really write down 10 things that you love about yourself and focus on them. And just know that not everybody's perfect. And, there's, this is a big one. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. No, I'm not perfect. Trust me, I get it. Like, I can name so many different things that I have going on that, I'm not perfect. I'm just working through it, and I'm making it a point to just making sure that I can achieve that, and that I'm working on my flaws, and that I'm taking the active steps to really achieve it. So no, I'm the furthest thing from it, believe me. But it's just very important to know that whatever it is that you need to work on, you have the confidence to know that you can change, and that you need to work on that as well. Success is making another person. I was gonna say this one as well. This was gonna be my next point, because during the commercial break, I went to go grab some water, and as I was going down the steps, I was like, wait, making somebody else smile is a big thing. You never know, you've made their day somehow. You might have saved them from one of the worst things that could have happened. They might have been thinking about, ending their own life. But just by you giving them that smile and making them laugh, that's a huge success as well. And man, I just love talking about this stuff, because you guys are just dropping some gold bars right now. Because there's so many different ways that we can talk about success. But the biggest thing to understand is that it doesn't matter how big or how small this success is. When you relish in it, you're feeling the positive vibrations. And as we all know from the chart, I'm going to bring up the chart. Yeah, I feel like I bring this up every week. But we all know, when we relish in our positive vibrations, when we have that enlightenment, when we have that peace, that joy, and that love, great things will start to happen to us. But when we start to feel, these low vibrational points, whether it's shame, guilt or anger or fear, take that stuff, throw it all to the side, because this is not serving us in our best lives. And it's really easy to feel that stuff, because we've been kind of conditioned to think that way. Whether they're, one of the biggest things I can tell is when you roast your friends, right? When you're roasting your friends, you're taking their flaws and maybe things that they can't control, and you're just trying to make them feel bad about it. So it's easy to feel, the negative feelings. And I just feel like when you go and you're making sure that you're focusing your mind on the positive direction, that's so much harder to do. But when you accomplish it and you start doing it on a more consistent basis, you start to feel better. And when you feel better, great things will start happening to you. When great things start happening to you, it's easier to feel better. When it's easier to feel better, even more things will start to happen to you. And it's just a positive circle. It's like, in the movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. It's like a circle, right? It's so much easier to feel those positive emotions. And it's just, life will start to be magical, and it is possible to achieve it as well. So here it is. Let's talk about the next thing. Like I said, it's not always going to be those tangible things. And I'm going to reiterate the different ways of success that there are, and the different forms of success that there is. So you have relationship success, financial success, emotional success, impact success, and intelligence success. So let's go, down each and every one of them, and give different examples of what success is for each and every one of those different points. So number one, when you have the relationship success, what is relationship success? Is it, having a great relationship with your family or your boss or your coworkers? I think that's a different point, or a different example when it comes to relationship success. When you're not getting into arguments every 5 minutes with somebody, that's a success. When you forgive somebody for doing something that they've wronged you in whatever way that they did to wrong you, when you have that forgiveness, and you don't always have to build something with that person. But just having that, forgiveness is a form of relationship success. I think that's another different way that we can talk about, that is very powerful, that will lead to breaking the chains of having that, resentment or that grudge against somebody. Break those chains, because those are things that might be holding you back, that you might not even be conscious of when you have those emotional or relationship or those energetic change. When you break them, they'll propel you to the life, whatever it is that you want to live in this world. Yes, it's funny. Yeah, the furthest thing from it, I see your previous comment right now. But like I said, there's relationship success in that way. But when you set the intention, and this is going to be one of my little tips for you guys, when you set the intention and you go out in the world and you say to yourself, everybody that I come into contact with is going to treat me with love, kindness, and respect, it will happen that way. And if you guys don't believe me, just try that one little tip that I can give you guys. Just if you can remember it after this episode, say that to yourself and it'll work out that way. I used to do that when I did the on the street segments. I would always say that as my mantra or my intention for making sure that everything was a success, to do the on the street segments. And it always happened that way. I never had anybody be mean or malicious or have any, like, bad energy towards me, because I always made that my intention before I would go to film those segments. So just try it out and see how it works for you. And here is the affirmation again for you. So everybody that I come into contact with today will treat me with love, kindness, and respect, and just watch the magic unfold right before your very eyes. Yeah, the street segments. I know I gotta bring that back for you guys, just because, like I said, it's been hard trying to find a camera person to do that. But I think I might have a workaround for that. I might just go myself to the city, just have a sign that says, "Hey, can you answer a question for me?" Whoever sits down, because that's the way that it's meant to happen. So I think that might be my workaround, and I'm just gonna go try it to see what's gonna happen. Right, working through that fear of not having that camera person, the fear of just doing it by myself. Screw it. Sometimes you need to go through it by yourself. So I think that's what I'm going to do in order to find the workaround and just to see how it works. Because even if it doesn't work, I could always just get extra content over there and just say, all right, well, tell you guys how it's going by doing it by myself. And that might be the best way to do it. I got to clean the sledgehammer every day. Man, Rainbow Six Siege is not a good game, but like I said, that's just my opinion. That's what he's referencing. But yeah, you got to clean the sledgehammer every day, 100%. So let's talk about financial success. I think financial success, like I said, paying a bill that you've been needing to pay off, or paying off that car payment, you just knocking it out a little bit at a time. Making that extra money, whatever job it is that you went through today, you made some extra money, right? Or whatever it is that you got to do for financial success. Don't make it so big that since you didn't achieve that thing just yet, that goal that you're asking for, that you want to manifest, may take 10 years down the road. But if it's so far away, you won't be able to work towards it if you're not feeling that appreciation for yourself, for your financial success right now. And that's why it's really important to feel those small victories right now. And I say small, but it's not really small, because there's no difference from, receiving 10 cents to receiving $100,000. It's all the same thing. But you just have to see it that way as well. Success is no negative debt, right there, 100%. It's a great way of putting it. If you don't know what positive debt is, you got to do your research on that. I'm not a financial expert, and I can't give you financial advice because I know a little bit about it, but do your own research on that, because there is a such thing as positive debt right there. Dave Ramsey, I've actually seen his stuff before. He does give good advice on there. And like I said, I've been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've been listening to the audiobook, and he talks about positive debt as well. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. So if you want to have some different resources to look up, or just even look up online, what is positive debt? You don't have to read from a book. I mean, I would prefer it, and that would be my advice to you guys, is to pick up a freaking book and read it. But Dave Ramsey is another great financial source of inspiration for you guys as well. And somebody else, I know he has a radio show where people call in, and you might be experiencing the same thing that the person calling in is experiencing. So just make sure that you are just really just finding the knowledge to equip yourself against these situations that might be, super beneficial for you at the time, even though every situation is super beneficial for you. But if you can't see it that way, just equip yourself with the knowledge to fight whatever it is that you're going through in your life. Because when you have the intelligence battle, the second half of that is just having the physical battle and actually carrying it out, whatever it is that you're learning about. And when you have that, physical knowledge and that mental knowledge, nothing can stop you because you'll know how to fight it, right? You'll know how to go through it and grow through it. The background, thank you, Dominique. I appreciate it, Oracle. This is actually the interim background because we are working on season 4, which is coming out in 2 weeks, and I have to do all the construction work for it. So this is just the background in the meantime. But thank you. I appreciate your kind words as well. You pay for the knowledge 100%. And, ignorance is not always bliss. And I don't like when people say that as well, because it's like you say, Lou, you pay for the knowledge. Yes. When you have that knowledge, it will pay you off in dividends and ways that you want it to work out in. But you also pay for the knowledge that you don't know, right? So if you don't know about something, you're paying the negative price of not knowing or being in that state of ignorance. Because if you don't know how to invest, and you can't receive the benefits of it, right? If you don't know if you don't have the knowledge to start a business, then you're receiving the negative price of not getting that money or not having that, extra step or that closer step to that financial freedom. So 100%, it's you are paying for the knowledge that you know, and you're also paying for the knowledge that you don't know as well. Josh is laughing. Let's see what he says. He says, you don't pay for the work, you pay for the knowledge. 100%. That's what the Chito, the electrician, told me. And, it's so funny, but that is so true. Like, you are paying for the knowledge, right? Because if you don't know how to fix your plumbing, let's just say electricity, right? Since you're talking about the electrician, if you don't know how to fix it, then you got to pay for that monetarily, and you're just giving that money to somebody else. Whether you can keep that money if you know what you were doing and just use it for something else, right? You could have used it for investing, or you could have used it to buy that pair of shoes that you wanted. Whatever it is, you do pay for the knowledge that you don't know about as well. So let's talk about the next one, which is emotional success. What is emotional success for you guys? I know for me is when you find that moment of happiness, and that if you're actively chasing that emotional success for today, and you are finding those silver linings, or you're always experiencing what it feels like to feel happy for the day, I think that's what emotional success is. You're not letting other people take you out of your character. That's a huge one. Whatever it is that you're going through, if somebody comes up to you and they're trying to talk crap or they're trying to take you out of your character, but you have that emotional success for them not to take you out of it, I think that's a huge one as well. When you don't let other people take you out of your character, and when you find the happiness and the great feelings for today, or whatever it is that you're going about through your day, I think those are huge ones as well. Because what emotional, this is not easy. This is a really hard one to try to fight through and to work through, because emotions are really easy, because if you're not conscious of it, and you're not being conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking about, then that's really just going to set the tone for every day. And the best example I can give to you is this. Have you ever just been going about through your day and you're just like, damn, I'm just so mad, but I don't even know why it is that I'm mad, but I just know that I'm mad? Have you guys ever experienced that? I've experienced that before. You're just like, why am I feeling like this? I don't even know why. It's that easy for you to just get hijacked or manipulated. So emotional success is 3 things to me. Number 1, being aware of your emotions. Number 2, reaching for those good things that happen to you for today and relishing in those good feelings. And then number 3 is not letting other people take you out of your character and your emotional state of peace. So those to me are what the different forms of emotional success are. Impact success is volunteering, right? What impact are you making on the people around you? What impact are you making on society? It can even be social media. What impact are you making on there to help other people that are watching your content? When it comes to impact success, as long as you're making other people feel good, you're giving them the knowledge that they need in order to have complete control of their life. I think, to me, that's what different forms of impact success are. I know some people consider volunteering, that can be another a portion of impact success. Sorry, talking for an hour. My my vocal cords are starting to wither a little bit, but you already know we got to push through it because we only got a few minutes left. So Jeanette says, be aware of your emotions and seek those good feelings is the key. That is success 100%. Yeah. And like I said, when it comes to impact, as long as you're helping other people feel good about themselves and you're helping them out with whatever it is that they need help with, I think that's really important. And I know in the Camden City, when it comes to volunteering and having that impact success on your community, they have the different cleanups that they have where, I've been the one this year. I got to go to a little bit more, but I know that's a different form of impact success and impacting your community in a positive sense as well. Look up whatever events it is whatever events that are going on in your community. There can be, volunteering at the animal shelter or volunteering at the soup kitchen or, like you said, cleaning up your community. There's so many different things that you can do to impact your society, impact your relationships that, can be impacting your family. Just even in just a phone call, right? If you're giving that phone call to that person to say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I love you. I hope everything is going well for you. That can be another form of success of impacting the people that are around you as well. And I think that's so, so freaking important. It's something as simple as a phone call, which takes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want it to be. Just always, always do that as well, man. It's so important to make sure that you are impacting people in the positive sense. And the last portion, the last version of success for me is intelligent success. Whatever lessons that you're taking through, your successes and your failures, I think that's always very important as well. When you're learning the lessons and you're implementing them in your life, I think that's a portion and a part of intelligent success. And reading and looking at positive content on social media, intelligent success is just always making sure that you're reaching for the right feelings and that whatever lessons that you do learn, you're not just throwing them out the window because if you do that, then you're doomed to repeat those intelligence barriers and you're doomed to repeat those same problems. But intelligent success, if you learn a lesson, don't forget about that lesson, actually implement it in your future endeavors or your future problems or your future successes. Just don't forget about them. And I think that's the best way that I can describe for intelligent success. And yeah, that's all that we have for today on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. We made it through the hour. Thank you guys so much for being here. For you guys absolutely lit it up in the comment section, dropping your tips, your trips, tricks, your suggestions, and all of your great ways to think about what success means to you. Thank you so much for being here, sharing an hour of your time on this Thursday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Just to let you know, we have Osiris Munir coming on next week. She is a fashion influencer and a fashions designer. She has such a great story, so I can't wait to bring that to you guys coming next week. So you guys are going to see all of the press releases and things and all the great stuff, highlighting her appearance for next week. So come on next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. I hope you guys have a really safe weekend. Be safe. Have a great time. Think about what success means to you and actually implement that into your life, and all great things will happen for you guys. Thank you, Rye, for dropping that. Thank you, Jeanette. Great tips and information on success. Thank you, Lou. Great show. Like I said, I guys hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Peace, everybody. Be safe. Love you guys.